couple days ago, I went and played some tennis for the first time in quite a while, and my eyes aren't the greatest, and we went and played. It was at night under lights, and the effectiveness of my play during tennis was like, it felt like I couldn't do what I knew that I could do because I wasn't getting the visual information that I needed and able to respond correctly to return the tennis ball back, right? What it made me think about was like what we're quote unquote blind to, what we're not seeing. You're not going to be able to have a correct or accurate response to it. So because I couldn't get, which sounds obvious, right? Like, because I couldn't get the information that was coming from the opposite side of the court, from the way that the player was hitting the tennis ball, from the way that the tennis ball was traveling, like from the spin on it, the depth perception of like whether it was going to get over, etc., like all that different type of stuff. Because I didn't have as clear of a picture and get as accurate of information as possible from that, my response to that wasn't as good as it could be. So even though my body felt like better than ever, like I could move as good as I've ever been able to move, it's like the visual information that I was getting wasn't up to the level. So then my physical performance was lowered because of that weak link in terms of the vision, in terms of the information that I was able to take in. So it's like starting to look at what is it that you're not seeing, because what you're not able to accurately see, you're not going to be able to accurately respond to, and things don't. And this isn't just for like sports or athletic performance or whatever. Like, this is for anything. Your thoughts about a training program, your thoughts about money, your thoughts about a relationship, your thoughts about whatever it is. Anything that you're blind to, you're going to respond inaccurately to, or you're going to have hesitancy because you're not clear on what that is. And that quote-unquote blindness builds up over, it's not something generally, I mean, sometimes there are actions that just flip it, right? Like, let's say with your literal eyes, if you were to get hit in the eye with a strap or something, that might be one incident that brings that on, right? But if it hasn't been one incident, which in most cases it's not, that builds up over time. So like blindness in any area builds up over time due to a lack of awareness or a lack of bringing in information from that environment. So if you think about like vision, it could be, for myself, it could be literally that I haven't been for however long a period of time. Like my eyes first started going a little bit, I don't even want to say it like that, but they first started, my vision started getting a little bit more blurry probably later in high school. So that would be around 10 years ago or so, is when I first started to notice it. And so that happens over a long period of time, right? As a side effect, I don't know this for sure, but for me, I think it's as a side effect of not wanting to be as aware of like external circumstances or be willing to kind of like extrovert myself out into what I was doing, and instead wanting to like everything just being in here, right? To the point that, okay, your body's like, okay, that's what's important, so that's where I'm going to give you, or we don't need to necessarily be able to see everything that's out there as clearly because you're not paying attention to it anyways. So, but we take that principle, right, and we can apply that to any area. So it's like a relationship that you don't keep up on, or in a relationship, it could be with a person, it could be with a job, it could be with a career, it could be with a sport, it could be a relationship with money, it could be a relationship with anything. But start looking at, like, if there's things that you aren't able to do and you're not sure why you're not able to do them, it's probably because there's blindness in one of those given areas. And what we need to do is start putting awareness or start putting attention on those areas to be able to increase like the awareness of that, or the level of consciousness that you're able to take towards that, then be able to start making those things more clear. Because even when I start to really pay attention, like with my eyes, when I start to really pay attention to what's around me, and I start trying to, it's like I almost like I start wanting to see the things that are around me and start like, even if it's squinting, like squinting is basically a side effect of me actually wanting to see what's around me versus just seeing it as blurry and not having a response to that. Is kind of like a, I don't know, this, it's kind of like a, like you're just accepting the fact that it's blurry is almost what it feels like. But so that's what I mean with, in any area where there isn't that clarity, in order to get the clarity, like we need to attack that area head on. We can't, it's not like we ignore it. It's not like we, I mean, if you want to be fine with it, I guess, okay, then be fine with it. But like, I don't want to be fine with areas that don't have clarity within what I'm doing. But it's just starting to build that awareness of like, what are you quote unquote blind to, and starting to put awareness and starting to put attention towards those in every area of your life.